Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Today we have another episode of, I need some like catchy music in the background, like what's in my drawers? So I've got a set of drawers that I keep my EDC stuff in. A few months back we looked at drawer number 1. I opened this out to you guys and we put it to a vote. So the first one was drawer number 1 and the second one is drawer number 3. Mysteriously, you all favoured drawer number 3 over drawer number 2. But anyway, so we'll have a look today at drawer number 3, which just happens to be my watch drawer. Now, as it was with drawer number 1, there's a very good chance that there's going to be other watch or at least non-watch stuff in there. There's absolutely no sort of order to it. It's just a big mess, but I like to live with mess. I appreciate mess. So yes, episode number 2 of What's in My Drawers. So yeah, let's go and get the drawer. Okay, so here we go. Here is drawer number 3 of What's in My Drawers. Okay, so straight off the box, there's a couple of things in here that, you know, definitely seem out of place. This one is the kit lens that I got with my Canon. This is the 18x55. It's an okay lens, however, it's ridiculously noisy. It doesn't have the smooth flow motor. I don't know what they call it. So when it's trying to focus, it makes an incredible amount of noise, which is a real shame. So I don't know why, but I just keep this in here. There's another thing in here as well. So this is my night core. What's this now? This is the NPP 10. And yeah, this is my Christmas tips. So I hate carrying loose change. So in here, I keep all of my loose change whenever I end up with some, and then I turn that into notes. Mainly because I just keep this to one side. I know Mrs. Moorlander's not going to watch this, so I certainly don't have to worry about her finding it. But usually by the end of the year, there's a couple of £100 in here, which means that I'll give this to Mrs. Moorlander and we'll put it towards presents, or we'll put it towards Christmas lunch. Yeah, you know, there's whatever we use that towards. A mobile phone mount randomly. Like I say, there's always going to be random things in here because stuff gets dumped. You know, such is life. Stuff gets dumped. Unfortunately, Mrs. Moorlander also likes to just go, well, it's one of Randy's things, so I'll just put it in a drawer. Now, my eye's coming towards these, so I recently got into these. These are Archer watch straps. Archer are a US company. I think they're in California, but you can pick these up on Amazon. They're reasonably cheap as well, but very good quality. So I mean, luckily it's here on the top. So I did a piece recently on the Casio GAB 2100. Now, we'll have to say some of these, I might have to flip these over to look on the back. When I'm usually making content, I have the luxury of being able to, you know, look at things and read things up beforehand and have my notes, but I'm 100% just freeballing here with this. And I replaced the straps on here with these Archer straps, and also used one of the J's and K's lugs on here, which has actually turned this into what I think is a near perfect timepiece, especially for a G-Shock. So you'll probably see lying around in here, like, so here there's some, there's another one here and here. These are the additional straps that go in these boxes, but the beauty of these is that they're all quick release. So I've got 22, I've got 20 millimeter width straps, so I can swap out a lot of these watches with these straps and kind of mix and match however I want them. So that's the GAB 2100 and my Archer straps. Random piece of felt. I think this felt was with the Withings. So this is the Withings Scan Watch. Absolutely love this watch. Just something about it. It is a quasi-smart watch, so it looks like a normal watch for all intents and purposes, like an analog watch, like maybe... so here is the Timex. Which one is this? Is this the Scout? Does it say on it? I can't remember what this one is, but so yeah, you know, it just looks like a traditional watch, but with this extra screen up there, and it's made stainless steel, sapphire crystal display, absolutely amazing heart tracker on the back. Love this watch, and it very quickly became one of my top all-time watches that I own. Definitely check out that content. A lot of this stuff I've made some content on, so check around, you know, I'll try and leave some links. So yeah, Withings Scan Watch, love that. Next one, which again, there's no particular order with this, I'm just picking up watches as I see them. This is the Casio King. Now, the actual model number for this is the GX56BB, and this is one of the largest Casio Squares that they do. I have another square in here. You can see the difference between them. This green one is the DW5610SU. I love just how meaty and massive. It's almost a statement piece when you have this on your wrist. Yeah, it's just ridiculously big. Plus the strap is a good inch or so longer. I have 7.5-inch wrists, so shorter straps like this I struggle with, whereas these larger straps, yeah, they just seem perfectly designed for larger wrists. I just like the comparison between the two sizes on here. I like the form factor of the Casio Squares, so I think I'm going to pick up another one of these soon to make some more content on, because I know you guys, from my Google Analytics, I can certainly see that you really appreciate the G-Shock content. So there are my two Casio Squares. I'm not sure I have another square in here. This one, so this is a really old one. This is the G100, Casio G100. The boys, when they were young, I think it was Norman, he got hold of this and bit the straps off. I liked this watch. The difficulty with this watch is that the hands and the hours are independent. So unlike something like the GA2000, when you set the time on this, so you set the time on the digital time, and then the digital time will then reset the hands to make sure that they always match. There's a real OCD issue with this one, whereas you have to set the time for the hands and you set the time for the digital underneath separately, and it's a great little watch, but damn, it drove me nuts. So that's the G100. I think they have done some updates to this, so recent models might have the functionality so that it actually syncs the two. The G2000, this is again one of my all-time favorite Casio watches. Absolutely love this. Form, function, rather than it has proper lugged straps, although this is quite a bit dirty. So it just moves more freely. It sits on your wrist a hell of a lot better, and I just like the look and the feel of it. But this, yeah, so this is maybe even possibly top 5. I need to do a top 5 Casio G-Shocks, don't I really? But this would definitely be in there. Another one, just knowing that this one sat there. What's this one again? So this is the GBX 100, and I can see that this one's just close to it. This is the GBD 200. So these are both very similar. This is the kind of the wave scepter version. So you can do all of you set your locations through the app, and it'll tell you when the high and low tide is. Whereas this one is more just to do with just kind of personal fitness. I haven't made any content on this one. I had a Christmas jumper and I was out on a works do, and it was a new Christmas jumper, and I got caught in the rain. So I don't know if you can see this, if I can get this close enough. There's like a red tint all the way around it, like a bizarre kind of burnt patina. I realised afterwards that it's from the Christmas jumper that I was wearing, because it got wet. It's actually dyed this, which is a bit of a shame. So I need to see. Hey, anyone out there, do you know how I can get this off, or is it's just in the plastic? But I love these two, mainly down to the display on here. Casio need to work on their batteries so that all of their G-Shock line adopt this new display, because viewing angles on it, absolutely amazing. Being able to read this in the dark. They both have lights on there, but a lot of negative display like this one. So I mean, this is actually a really good one, but a lot of these negative display style watches are difficult to see in the dark, whereas these two, yeah, absolutely amazing watches. So that's the GBX 100 and the GBD 200. I really have a bad memory, so yeah, there you go, that explains that. Now I'll get back to these. So we've got some Timex ones in here. Damn, what is this one? I think is it the Foreigner, the Traveller? It's got a, does it begin with an M? Damn, can't remember. I'll have to put it down here. So we've got the Timex Scout, and then we've got the Timex whatever it's called. Just really nice watches, and I like the fact that with these they work really well with these NATO straps. Now hopefully in here you'll see, because I mean I have a lot of NATO straps. So these are more of the diver NATO straps. One very similar to the James Bond NATO strap. This one I haven't even opened. This is a really nice grey NATO strap. I really love NATO straps. I think they're just very nice. They're classic, timeless. The fact that they were invented by the British military to solve a problem, again, I just think that's really cool. But on this one, so this strap is what is similar to the Marine Nationale straps that the French divers use, and I got these from Hawk Rigger. So this has a green and red display, and Hawk Rigger do a green and red band. Now they sent me this one, and I think, if I remember rightly, it was more of like a test piece. So you can see that they have adjusted the clasps on them slightly, but because this was a prototype, they sent me another one just to say, you know, this is the one to show off, and it's got the Hawk Rigger logo on there. Now Hawk Rigger make absolutely amazing straps. They do some other different ones to these. Highly recommend checking them out. Stuart from Hawk Rigger, again, is just a really sound guy. And these are all made here in the UK, from the clasps even down to the elastic. So yeah, they're definitely one to check out. But I thought they just looked really nice on the Scout. One day, my Grail watch, which I will pick up hopefully one day, is the Hamilton Khaki. So whether it's these Marine Nationale, whether it's some of these NATO straps, yeah, I'll pick up one of those one day, and yeah, I think they'll look great with all of these. So yeah, I do really like traditional analog watches. I think they're very nice. I certainly wear these a lot more for dressier occasions, but I do wear them kind of, I do EDC these as well. But yeah, so that's those. Randomly, a climbing hex nut back from my climbing days. You jam these into cracks and you put your safety equipment on them so that if you fall, luckily when I climbed I never fell. We've got some extra cables, so we've got a micro USB. There is a USB Type C. I think there's some more. Oh no, we've got a random lanyard, a metal straw, a pen and a pencil. Oh, I forgot about this. So this is one of those bull bars. This goes on to, where is it? Wherever I put it. This goes on to here. I bought this because I thought that it would look cool, and don't get me wrong, it does look cool, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I was really sold on it. I think I was putting that on the wrong way around, wasn't it? It goes on that way. Yeah, I thought bit of bling, bit of gold on there. I probably should have picked up the black version to kind of complement the rest of this. It still looks freaking awesome, don't get me wrong, but I probably should have picked up the black one. So yeah, so they're the bull bars for the Casio King. One of, again, and I know I'm probably going to say this a lot, but this possibly is the top Casio G-Shock that I've ever owned, and this is the original Mud Man. So we've got the Mud Masters now, but this is one of the original Mudmen or Mudmans. There's a little dude on the little hedgehog on the back. So the actual model number of this is the G9000. And when I first picked this up, this was one of the Stormtrooper variants. So it was white, kind of off-white, kind of a milky cream colour. And that's why I've got the white internal inlay on there. But it got, I mean, it just got torn to shreds, and I think eventually the clasp broke on it. So I picked this up and put this new one on it. So you don't see any of these out there. This is, I mean, I don't want to say I've modded it, because I mean, it didn't take much to replace the bezel and the straps, but I guess it's kind of one of a kind unless somebody else has done similar. But this is, and I don't know why, but this is the best or most accurate time-keeping G-Shock that I've ever owned. I like the dual functionality with the two stopwatches and the timers on there. I don't wear this enough. This really is a great watch. So that's the G9000. Here are the straps. So these were the straps that came on the. These are the straps that came on the GAB 2100. The straps, these were the weakest part of this watch, so I took the straps off and yeah, really improved it with these arch straps. Some random O-rings. These are probably off a flashlight from somewhere. A little Ranger band that seems to be in there. There's some instructions from some archers. Ooh, forgot this was in there. So this is a sticker from Armor Wallets. I think they changed the name, so they're not Armor Wallets anymore. They're now Axwell wallets. I think I have a couple of these on the way to me, so that'd be really cool. Another random little piece of paper. So these are loops. I do still use these. I forgot that they were in here. So they look like little miniature AirPods. If I bring this up close enough, will that go in focus? So they look like little miniature AirPods, but there's no music or anything played through them. What you do is you put these into your ears, and they help to reduce the decibel range around you. So similar to maybe Ear Pro if you're at a firing range, but rather than being a 100% blocker, I think these drop the noise around you by 20 or 30 decibels. It's just, you know, if you're in the office or you're at work or you're on a train or, you know, you're somewhere and you just want to chill, you don't want to listen to some music, they come in this little pod case. You pop them in, and yeah, these are great. I bought some of these for Mrs. Molander. Unfortunately, I'm a huge snorer. I wish I wasn't, but when I snore at night, yeah, it keeps Mrs. Molander up. It keeps the kids up in their own rooms. So when she has these in, it just takes off the edge from me snoring. I picked up some for her here as well. So yeah, that little loop weird ear thingamajiggies. Then have the T-Rex. So this is the Amaze Fit T-Rex. It's turned off at the moment just because at the moment I am testing out the Garmin Instinct 2. This is a solar edition. There would be the Garmin Instinct 1 solar in here, but I've lent it to a buddy. You know, I often get asked by friends, you know, I was thinking of picking up one of these watches. Is there any chance I can borrow one? So I say, yeah, of course. So the Garmin Instinct isn't here, but the Garmin Instinct 2 is the one that I'm currently wearing, and this is the one that I'm testing. But this is the Amaze Fit T-Rex 2. Really, really impressed me for, I'm going to say, a budget range smartwatch. You can pick these up for about £200. They're probably going to be less soon when it comes up to Christmas and stuff. But the amount of functions that you get on here compared to other smartwatches, twice the price. These are a really, really good pickup. So that was the T-Rex 2 from Amaze Fit, but then there's also this one. So I mean, it's completely run out of battery. But this is the Amaze Fit Neo. So completely on the reverse side of the spectrum, this is the ultra budget version. It's got a really nice, especially if I put it against this one, old school retro Casio feel to it. But it still has a heart rate sensor on the back. So if you're after a retro feeling smartwatch, these are really good. I've done a few runs with these, mainly because I don't want to take out an expensive watch if it's a muddy kind of run. But yeah, really impressed with Amaze Fit. I think they're doing some good watches and showing that there's a lot of other companies out there that, you know, you're really just paying for the name. I went for a run with a friend of mine the other day, and I likened them to, what was it now? I said that Amaze Fit are like the One Plus of the smartwatch. If you know OnePlus, with the mobile phones, when they first started, they were making amazing mobile phones that were half the price of some other ones. The prices have gone up recently, but there's a weird little analogy. But yeah, T-Rex, Amaze Fit T-Rex and Amaze Fit Neo. I hope they do a Neo too. I'd really like to test that one out. Now I did show this one off so this is the Casio World Time. I did some content on this. I think I was in Barcelona with work. I had a random hour, went back to my room and decided to make some content on this. It probably wasn't the best content that I ever made, but I enjoyed it. It was a in the moment kind of thing. But the Casio, is there a model number? There must be a model number. So this is the AE1200WH. But this one, super retro, but also got the name the Casio Royale because it's very similar to the watch that James Bond was wearing in Casino Royale, and it's actually really nice. The straps are made from rolled steel, which feels a bit tinny, but the flip side is you can pick these up for about £20, $20, €20, however much it is. And they're generally really nice watches. So yeah, the Casio World Time or Casio Royale. I think we're scraping, oh no, we're not scraping the bottom of the barrel because we have the Casio Duro. Absolutely love this watch. As far as budget friendly dive style watches are concerned, the Duro is absolutely amazing. Do we have a model number? This is the MDV106. Everybody knows it as the Duro. I managed to pick up one of the original ones, or people also refer to it as the Casio Marlin. Because of the Marlin that's on there. I think they've lost the license to have the Marlin on there. I think it's actually Timex that's picked that up. But I want to do an update to this as well because I really fancy changing the straps, although this is actually a really nice strap. But I've seen that you can have the crystal changed on these so that you can get a sapphire crystal. This is just a normal mineral crystal display on there, but with the sapphire crystal display on there, I think this will be a really, really nice watch. So that's the Casio Duro. I'm definitely not, I mean, certainly with these last two. This is, what's the model number on this one? This is the AE1500WH. So this looks like a G-Shock, and I think for all intents and purposes it should be a G-Shock, but you can pick these up for about £20. The main reason that these don't hold a G-Shock title is that they're only water resistant to 100 meters, where every other G-Shock is water resistant to 200 meters. This is only 100, and I think it uses an acrylic glass rather than a mineral crystal, and that's probably why, because if you need a stronger display or a stronger crystal on there to be able to go to those depths. But everything else is practically a G-Shock. It looks like a G-Shock, it smells like a G-Shock, it walks like a G-Shock. It just has those few things that means that they can't put the G-Shock logo on here. George Define, he wears one of these. It's kind of where I got the idea to pick this up. This is the negative display version. There is a positive display version of this, but I've recommended this to so many people that have said, you know, I'm thinking of picking up a G-Shock, but I struggle because you know, I need to be able to see the display because I have difficulties with my sight. This is such a great watch to pick up, mainly just because of how cheap it is. It's a great beta watch as well. I wear this when I go and play airsoft, mainly because, you know, it's just tough. I don't like to be frivolous and just go, oh, if it dies, I'll just go out and buy one. But these are that cheap that if something did happen to it, I generally would just go out and buy one. The last few in here, so let's go to this one. So this is the Nixon watch, and this is the Nixon, the Spencer. I used to quite like fashionable fashion watches. The Spencer is one that somebody bought me when I left the company. The battery drains ridiculously quickly on this. It's shocking how quick the battery goes down, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's complete. Oh no, it's still going. Yeah, I love this watch. I just wish the battery lasted longer. I don't think that's a general thing with Nixon watches. I've had some in the past, and they've all been great watches. I just wish, yeah. But this is the Nixon, the Spencer. Yeah, it's a nice watch. Now the last two. Okay, so this is a super dry. I don't even know if it says what's on there. This was a random holiday purchase whilst going through customs. When you're slapping suntan lotion on all the time, it just gets sticky and crappy. In fact, I think the battery's gone on this. It's a very throwaway. It was of a time. I had this when I went on holiday. The holiday was great, but I've never worn it since. And then this last one, this was sent to me. Yeah, I probably should follow up and make some content on this. So this is a, I don't even know how you pronounce it. This is an SKMEI. It's a SKMI. It's one of these Japanese. It's one of these Chinese G-Shock rip-offs. All of the little bits around it, it's like when you go to a carnival and get a cheap watch. It's literally just got the watch, stopwatch, alarm, and then you go onto this last bit. Oh, it's just, that's how you change the time. Yeah, it's cheap and nasty. However, saying that, I'm certainly not a watch snob in the sense that I appreciate that, you know, people need to wear a watch, and if this is what you can afford, then, you know, that's good on you. Then you should pick up a watch like this. At the end of the day, it tells time. So if you're after a watch because you work somewhere where you know that watches get damaged quite frequently, then there's no reason why you shouldn't pick up a watch like this. Yeah. So there you go. There is my watch drawer. So there you have it. That is drawer number 3 in part 2 of What's in My Drawers. Yeah, there you go. Some of you that might have like offended you just with just how it's just nonchalantly thrown in there. Sorry. Not sorry. So yeah, there you go. I'll have a look and I'll check to see what was next, and then maybe in a few months' time we'll do What's in My Drawers, part 3. So yeah, there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. Some of these things I might be able to find some links, so I'll leave some links down below. I'll leave some of my social media links as well, so you can follow me on social media. Yeah, there you go. For now, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. in part 2 of What's in Your Drawer. No, hold on. Let's do that again. I've got a new lens. Hopefully it looks nice. I keep looking there. So with this lens, I'm actually really close now. There's probably about, I don't know, 18 inches between me and the camera. Normally the other lens that I had is a 25mm fixed lens. This is this is a 10 by 18. I use a Canon EOS 250D. But I mean, I can reach out and touch you. The other lens, I had to keep the camera maybe 2 or 3 meters away from me, just so that you can get this. But we can come in closer, or we can go a little bit more out, which hopefully it'll just mean that I can get some better photography filming done. It's strange though, I feel like I'm right there. I could reach out and touch you generally, because you know I can. So yeah, new lens. Hopefully this will be a new experience for you guys. I'd love to hear in the comments below if you like the new lens, or just the same as before. So yeah, there you go.